Hello and welcome in today's exciting episode. Yeah, I did do a little bit more beading, but then I stopped to make this dress. It's that Simplicity Empire line dress. It's the cutest.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
So here's the dress. I do actually finish it. So let's just stress that I started it a little late in the day because I was doing some more beading. Anyway, Simplicity 9702, fabulous dress. But I altered the cover. She's wearing this gorgeous apricot dress and she looks adorable. So I had this cotton. It's a cotton from Japan and it kind of looks like a kimono style textile. But I was like, oh no, I was going to make a vintage dress out of it. It's 4 yards, so it's enough for a vintage dress. But I was like, nah, I'll make the Empire Line one. Upon reflection, it's too light a cotton. I think I've made this dress out of quilting cotton before and it looks really good. And also I've made it out of rayon, a really drapey version, and that was good too. But this cotton I think was a little bit too light. So the only pieces I use are the front of the bodice, the back of the bodice, and the top tier front and the top tier back. And the other bits I just use, as I said, I use 4 yards, and once I've cut those out plus the sleeves, then I use the remaining fabric for the second tier. So yeah, let's get to it. And so as I said, I really just do a couple of pieces. There's 4 bits. There's the bodice, there's the sleeves, there's the first tier of the skirt, and then all the remaining fabric I use, I do all the first bit and I put that on the mannequin. Then I decide how I'm going to chop up the last bit, remaining bit of the fabric to make the bottom tier. So let's start with the sleeves we'll start with. So I don't actually use the sleeves from this pattern, the Simplicity dress. I actually use these New Look blouse, N6698, and in this case I made them half the actual New Look sleeves are twice as long as this. But yeah, I have tiny shoulders and it just, if I have long sleeves, I just look like a child wearing their mother's top or something. So what I do is, it's a really simple sleeve. All I do is it's a puffy sleeve, obviously. I put 1 pleat in the top and 5 pleats in the bottom, and this is it. Just, I've got it on a glass jar because you can't really see it when it's flat, but when you see how puffy it is, it's absolutely adorable. So yeah, just a center pleat, 2 beside it, and then another 2 beside that, and then at the top 1 pleat, and then as I attach it, I put a couple more pleats on. So that's the puffy sleeve done. And then the bodice is actually supposed to be, the front of it is supposed to be a left and a right, and then you sew them together at the center. But I just altered the front slightly because I'm more flat chested than their sample size and than what they make. So I've just made it sort of, instead of a deep V-neck, I've made it a U-neck, but it's still a little bit deep. But anyway, and I'm doing a size 8. I normally do a size 10, so it's nice and a bit baggy and I can wear long sleeve t-shirts underneath, but this is a size 8. So if you're making this, just check the sizes before you cut yours out or do a wearable mock-up, because it's actually really baggy. Well, I find it is anyway, but that might just be because I've got my chest is on the smaller side and I also have really small shoulders. Anyway, so I sew the shoulders and the sides of the bodice, and I'm doing a lined one, so you just cut 2 of the front, 2 of the back, and you sew them in separately, and then you sew them together at the neckline. You just pin and then sew. Then you clip the curves, and then you press it, and then turn it out, and then you press it again. So here we are, and now it's time to attach the sleeves that were just pre-made. See, so yeah, so I pressed it. And yeah, I don't have an ironing board, so I have to use my workbench to press things. So that's why I've got that other bit of fabric just randomly lying around there. So I've made the bodice, and it is time to attach these puffy sleeves. And then, so you just pin them in. I pin them in the center top, center bottom, and then the bottom third, and then pleat the rest of the top around. And I did both sleeves, and then machine sewed them and reinforced it, so machine sewed again. And there we go. And I haven't hemmed the cuffs of the sleeve yet, but yeah. So now we've got the whole of the bodice ready. It's time to do the first tier. So I'm doing dress C, but instead of doing 3 tiers for the skirt, I sort of lengthen my first tier a little bit. Instead of having 3 tiers like this picture here, I just have tier 1 and 2, 1 tier, and then I use all the remaining fabric for the bottom tier. So here it is. Well, that's not very clear at all. I'll show you how I made it. So I cut off a section of the fabric, and this is it, width to width, and then sort of I added the same amount to the bottom of each pattern piece. So instead of just cutting it, I added a foot to each side. So yeah, I just sort of laid them vaguely in the middle, then measured exactly from the edge in, and that's how I figured out where the pieces are, and then I cut away the extra. So the bit with the arrow is the front, because the empire line sort of goes up just under the bust, and then the back, the saggy bit, is the back, and that's how the back of an empire dress goes. So, and then I pressed it, I machine sewed the seams together, and then I pressed it, and now it is ready to use, and we'll attach the bodice to the first tier. And there's just marks where you have to pleat it down, and there we go. And it looks weird because it doesn't have the weight of the second tier yet, so it sort of looks puffy and weird. Anyway, it's going to be fine once it has the weight of the second tier on there. So wow, my camera didn't get the color right here. So this is the remainder of the fabric. I just neatened up the edges, and then I cut it into 4 pieces, and I machine sewed them together, salvage to salvage. So it was just one really long loop, and then I pleated it down. So the loop ended up being about at least twice as long as the other one. So there we go. It's the same sort of apricot color, and then I just used a coral necklace because I love that BBC miniseries version of Emma where she wears an apricot dress with a coral necklace. So yeah. Anyway, and here we have the dress. I haven't hemmed it yet, and I haven't hemmed the cuffs either, but I made the dress. So there we go. And it's a little baggy. I know you're not supposed to wear a sash or a belt with an empire line dress, but as I said, I have little shoulders, and I don't know, I kind of just look a bit lost in empire line dresses. Kind of look like maternity wear on me. So if you just put a sash on them, they just automatically look like an adorable vintage dress. So that's what I've done. And I don't know, they just look like a million times better. And this is just a sash from a dress that I made in January, actually. Gosh, almost a year ago. Holy dooly, this year. It hasn't flown by, but it's definitely sort of, yeah, I can't believe it's over already. And I've still got loads of stuff that I want to finish before the end of the year. Anyway, so there we go. And as I said, obviously empire line dresses don't have sashes on them, but I don't know, I just feel like mine looks so much better with a sash on them. And I usually wear like a shirt or a long sleeve t-shirt underneath, like a beige one would look absolutely adorable under this. And there we go. So now that I've sort of finished this, in my the patchwork dress, the teal one I said I didn't hem it. I do eventually hem them. I just mean that I'm quite fine about wearing a dress before it's finished. That's all I meant. I do actually hem things eventually, but yeah, so now I'm going to get back to doing more beading on the Egyptian tweed. It's taking forever, but yeah, it's so worth it. It's really fun to do and challenging and difficult, but really rewarding as well. So, and this looks so cute with the sash and the necklaces. It's adorable. Anyway, I should probably it's like a cluster of mannequins all in one place. I should have, as you can see, I've got, you can't, but under the underwear I'm cutting off the camera, I've still got that pile of tweed and some beads on the ground. So I really do need to do a clean up. But anyway, there you go. I made my dress. I definitely recommend this pattern. It is absolutely adorable, but I would absolutely join the front two pieces instead of making them separately. And I also use lining, so cut out two bodices, two front bodices, two back bodices, instead of trying to fiddle around with the facing. It's just weird. And yeah, when you make a lining, you can just tuck up all the seams into the bodice, and then you don't have any raw seams. It's so much easier. So yeah, all the pieces you need are the bodice front, bodice back, top tier front, top tier back. You don't have to worry about tracing out or cutting out any of the other pieces. And I found this much baggier than any other pull-on dress that I've made. And with the sleeves, I definitely recommend that New Look blouse pattern, N6698. It is just, it's foolproof. Well, I think it is. It's such a lovely, cute blouse. And as I said, instead of doing it full length, I did it at half. But it's also really pretty at full length. I've just got quite a few dresses already like that, and I feel like I just need the short puffy sleeve now. But yeah, it's adorable. I definitely will be making this dress again. I haven't made the full length sleeve dress. I think that would be a bit much for me. I think, yeah, if you have a slight frame, then I do think you need to have some of your skin on display. I mean, it's got a very, very deep V-neck, so I guess there's skin there, but I'd rather just have my elbows and, my arms showing. Anyway, so yeah, I made my dress and it's adorable. Highly recommend. I will be making it again, but I'll use quilting fabric, then a quilting cotton the next time I make this, because that's the 2 or 3 favorite ones are the quilting cotton ones that I have of this, and I used 4 yards of quilting cotton, and they're just adorable, comfortable. I love them. But for now, I am headed back to do the Egyptian tweed jacket, more beading on that. I think I'll actually stitch up the hem. Speaking of finally getting around to doing the hems, I'll stitch up the hem and the cuffs now that I've done all the bottom beading. And then, I'll get back to beading the top third of the jacket and the sleeves. I'm using up so many of my gold beads. It's very impressive because it's been 2 years since I got out all my beads and KonMari'd them and reorganized them and sorted them out again. So they're an absolute mess at the moment. So the more beads I use up before I have to do the next KonMari, the better, because it means I'll have less beads to sort out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you've been inspired to make this simplicity dress because it is just adorable. So yeah, thanks again and happy sewing.